From my perspective, I felt like we've had really interesting stories to tell, new, fresh stories, keeping the continuity of the characters, and in this movie, we will be tying up some storylines that have been open for the first couple of movies. So there will be some conclusions, though I wouldn't say it's necessarily the end. I think we're going to leave it open-ended and say we're not quite sure what will happen. If there are stories worth telling, then we'll tell them.
They just had to ask the update, what's Spider-Man 4? Where's that at?
Sony is definitely making Spider-Man 4 with Amy Pascal as the chairwoman of Columbia Pictures leading the charge, and I'm hoping they'll come to me first as the director. I know that there's a screenwriter writing the script, but either way I'm hoping to be one of the producers on the picture, and I'm very excited to read the script.
Will you be signing up for a fourth Spider-Man?
I don't know, we'll see. If there's some great stories to tell, perhaps. I don't know where I would like to see Peter go. I don't have any specific ideas on it. I guess that's the question that will be asked shortly in terms of developing another one.
Yeah.
I think it's like that. It's like I'm open to the idea. I don't have any. There's no plans to do it. I mean, they're developing something, and if there was a great story to tell and the right people were involved, meaning Sam and the cast, then I would be interested.
Spider-Man 4 will probably happen if Sam and Tobey are willing to do it, then I am too. It's just, dependent on us three coming together.
If Sam was involved and there was a great script and some interesting place for Peter to go and the right cast, just the right team of people to work with again, then I would consider it. If Sam Raimi came in and there was a great script and the right cast was on board, then I would definitely consider it at that point. But we'd have to find some new interesting ground to cover for the character. I think that there'll definitely be more Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
In terms of my involvement, it'll be like any other movie. I would decide when I read a script and if there's a great story and something really interesting for the character to do, and Sam Raimi was the director and the right cast was in place and all those circumstances lined up, then I would definitely consider it.
There will be. I'm not sure what who will be involved, but I've loved working with this group of people, so if the circumstances were right, I would definitely be excited to consider that possibility.
My only disappointment is I don't get to fly this time. And I've been practicing and practicing and practicing, but they didn't ask me. But maybe in Spider-Man 4. I believe there's a sort of little sparkle in somebody's eye about maybe Spider-Man 4.
The big news is the fourth one for you.
Well, I'm hoping. If you got news for me, you tell me.
I'm going to ask Sam Raimi as soon as he comes down. I'm going to grab him in a headlock and say, it has to be done. Even if you don't direct it, you got to go ahead with it so you get the part.
No, I think I'm with all the rest of the cast, and that is if Sam Raimi's not there, forget it. It's just not Spider-Man.
There has been talk of number 4, and you would do that, would you?
Yeah, I would with Sam and Tobey, yeah.
It would have to be those two, though.
Yeah, it's a team,
Is there going to be a Spider-Man 4, and if so, what do you think? Do you want to do it?
Well, I would assume that they're going to make more Spider-Man movies, and for me, I've had such a good time making them. It all depends on if there's a great story for me, for Peter Parker, and, if Sam Raimi's involved and the right cast is there, then I would be definitely excited to consider that possibility.
So you have not ruled it out?
That's right.
All right.
The opening of Spider-Man 3 is still a week away, but now Sony is confirming to dailies that there are plans for a Spider-Man 4, and that great news leads our dailies news. Tobey Maguire told Hollywood.com he'd definitely consider putting on the tights again if the script is right, a good cast signs on, and if director of the first 3, Sam Raimi, were to come back again. Dailies asked Sony Pictures about the possibility of a Spider-Man 4, and the studio released this statement. The official answer is that we are, in fact, continuing the franchise. There is no further information at this time. And just last week, I asked Sam Raimi about directing the 4th installment of this billion-dollar franchise.
Is there any talk of it at this point, or, I mean, I know you're just wrapping up the 3rd one, but...
Really, I haven't had a chance to think about it yet, because we really did just wrap up this picture like a week ago Wednesday, so there hasn't been time really to explore what Spider-Man 4 could be, but I know that Sony Pictures is planning on making it.
Word on the streets is we might see a vampire antagonist in the next Spider-Man film.
What? I don't know anything about that. Kirsten Dunst, I've talked to her, and she's very excited to come back, and we're working on who the bad people are going to be that Peter Parker has to battle this time.
So we can expect bigger and better.
Well, I don't know if it'll be bigger and better. I think I'm going to try and make it smaller and worse. No, I'm going to try and make it more intimate. Find the heart of what made Spider-Man great originally in the comic books. I'm going to try and return to the central core of the character that I fell in love with. And in that way, I'll try and make it better. Try and make it the best of the bunch.
Well, right now we're working on it, and you know, everybody's intention is to get it out for 2011. How do we press this? How do we make it more exciting, more fun? How do we evolve the character and make it a rich story? And how do I make it interesting for myself to go do something else, you know? So, yeah, I appreciate that, too.
That's all over. I think I'd like to step back and look at the character and say, do I really have something to contribute to this now? Do I think I can make it great? Because if I don't think that, I shouldn't get anywhere near the project. And does the character really have somewhere to grow to? You know, here's a legend that people have loved for generations, 45 years, and different writers and artists had told the story of Spider-Man, and now that Olympic torch was being handed to me, and I was the honored one for a brief time to tell some Spider-Man stories, and then I will be handing it to another storyteller soon enough.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I can't thank you enough for that intro. It was exaggerated. I didn't deserve it, but at least maybe it'll help me get a longer cameo in your next movie. All right? I hope Sam was listening.
Sam's here.
Is he here? Sam, now come on, you promised. Give me 2 lines next time, wherever you are.